This is Local Edition. I'm Brad Pomerance in our Capitol Bureau in Sacramento. We're joined by Adrin Nazarian. He is a member of the California State Assembly. And I will admit to you that over the summer, my family and I went to Barcelona. We had a great time. And throughout Barcelona, they have these great topless buses where you're on the top, there's no cover, and you're looking at all the sights. And then I came home and I saw them driving around Hollywood, and I thought, I want to do that at home. But then I thought, is this safe? Talk to me about that. The safety of these topless buses.
And that's one of the big problems.
Right.
But the other challenges is that it's grown. That industry has grown significantly over the last 10, 15 years. And now there are many, many companies where this was an industry that maybe had barely 10 businesses in the entire industry in LA area. It's grown now to be almost 50 businesses. And so the competition is also driving for certain practices, which then, when they stay unregulated, starts impacting the neighborhoods and communities that have, for the most part, been welcoming of these tours, but now it's becoming severely overbearing and challenging.
And what's funny is, one of my daughters went on one of these buses with a friend of hers, who happens to be the child of a major celebrity. And they went driving through Beverly Hills, and the tour bus operator says, "There's XYZ's house." And the child says, "That's not my house." You know, so they're usually showing you the wrong houses as the celebrity houses as a side note. But talk to us more about the regulation.
Well, by the way, on that note, there's also an issue of privacy. On purpose, I don't think they want to disclose where certain individuals live.
It's usually wrong anyway.
Then there would be certain other issues and liabilities probably involved. So out of, they just throw out random false information, which for some of the patrons leads to opportunities to do certain things. Some of my constituents have received death threats, that the house is going to be burned.
And let's remind our viewers, you represent significant portions of LA County, Studio City, where many celebs live, parts of the Hollywood Hills, where many celebs, Sherman Oaks,
Toluca Lake.
And I mean, these are very well-heeled communities, and a lot of our friends in the celebrity community see these buses go by and they appreciate it, but like you said, it can be risky.
And then there's the folks that the celebrities may not be there full-time, they're out to work, but the residents who are day in, day out living there and residing there and are falsely identified as being a celebrity homeowner, then deal with the consequences of all these issues.
But here's the challenge we face. What folks love about Los Angeles is that it attracts tourism. But for tourism, the greater Los Angeles region would struggle a bit. I mean, it brings a lot of money in. And those tour buses are part of the ambiance of being a tourist in LA.
And thank you for saying that, because I think for the most part, most of the constituents in the Hollywood Hills have been extremely giving. These complaints have gotten louder only in recent years.
Because of the volume of buses?
Because of the volume, because of the practices, because of the aggressiveness, because of the amount of false information. There's just been an increase of all these things. The volume has increased.
So here's my question. I think about my car. I don't have a topless car. But the seatbelt...
Good, because you'd probably lose the liability.
Right. But the seatbelt seems to be almost connected to the roof. And so then I thought to myself, well, wait a sec. These topless buses, or vans, they're cutting off the top. So what's happening to the seatbelt?
Compromising the safety severely.
Okay.
And that's why the federal government is also getting involved now and wants to see what are some of these changes that are taking place and how it can potentially be impacting lives. Well, we've known it for a long time that this is causing great danger. And some of those hilly areas also are not very safe to drive. So if there's a risk of a rollover, you're looking at just one incident potentially causing great damage. And that then gives a hit to the tourism as well as the community that faces this impact, and also all the devastated families.
Now, is this a federal issue, though? Is it a state issue, a county issue, a city issue?
So what I'm trying to do is be very mindful of not only being overbearing on the business, but also making sure that my constituents are protected. And also at the top of it all, lives are saved and protected. So what we're doing is looking at ways of, first of all, giving certain authorities to local jurisdictions so that noise could be reduced in the process, because there aren't any headsets on these tours. It's all done over loudspeakers.
In Spain, there's a headset because it's different languages.
Right. And so that's an opportunity also for certain other cottage industries to thrive,
there you have
because
it.
there's an opportunity. And there are other challenges, well, restrictions or safety of the vehicles. So all of these are going to be issues that I'm going to want to allow the local jurisdictions, rather than the state coming in and saying this is the way it needs to be.
So you want to pass...
authorize the cities, local jurisdictions, to have more say in those, to have a better opportunity to have a say.
So
in
you're
those issues.
floating legislation that will give localities the ability to regulate.
Yes, but on top of that,
Please.
there also needs to be some kind of a certification process that the state is involved with that ensures that these vehicles are safe to be operated and for residents or tourists to enter these vehicles.
But at the same time, I understand that the federal government has gotten involved. The National Highway Transportation Safety Administration sent letters out
They did.
on this question.
They
and
did.
so where does that play in?
They're still reviewing the issue.
I see.
And so instead of just waiting for them to review, I wanted to make sure that we were at the state level taking steps so that A, we're protecting the residents' lives, or individuals who may be coming in from outside of the country and the state as well. But also to offer certain protections to local jurisdictions that will better be able to address their own needs, because not all of the needs are the same. Tour buses are primarily in the Bay Area and Los Angeles, so the rest of the state doesn't need to be hampered by this.
So in your mind, though, this is not a solution seeking a problem. We do have an issue here, and you want to regulate it in a way that won't be overbearing. Is that fair?
Absolutely.
Okay, I want to shift gears if we can and talk about savings account for children. I know that when my children were born, we started these 529 accounts, but not everyone has the wherewithal to start a 529 account, which is a college savings account. You're looking at that issue.
I am, because some other states have started looking at this, and they've taken the progressive steps of actually making investments through the state, even at nominal levels. It could be $50, it could be $100, it could be up to $500.
So you're kind of jump-starting a version of a 529 through state funding?
Well, so here's what I'm looking at. 529 is great. And it's very important because it encourages students to know that they have a certain level of funding waiting for them when they're ready to go to college or technical trade or whatever education opportunities they want to pursue. But 529s can also be very limiting to only education.
It's true.
One of the key factors in addressing poverty is being able to make investments in young adults or in children and allow the market to grow that little nest egg so that by the time they're 18, they are coming in with a certain amount of wealth so that they can pursue school, more college, or maybe even look at certain businesses so long as the business plan affords them the opportunity to make more money.
So in our final moments, funding mechanism for this to be determined?
And we're looking at that,
Okay,
yes.
so that's key, that's key. Okay, his name is Adrin Nazarian. He is a member of the California State Assembly representing significant portions of the San Fernando Valley. I'm Brad Pomerance, and this is Local Edition.